For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future.
Hi, I'm Roberta M. I am the author from Hell to Salvation, One Girl's Journey, and I've published 4 other books, After the Storm is Over, The Dawn of a New Day, One with God, and Changes of the Mind, giving my testimony through poetry. Yes, poetry, which allowed me to share without going into the true grit. You see, during that time, my wounds were so fresh that I did want to share my testimony, but not in depth. Something that you can do with poetry, and something that I am now ready to do for the first time in film. It was not until years later that the Lord compelled me, and I felt Him speaking deep within my soul to share my story of how He delivered me from my personal hell to salvation, which birthed my first novel, From Hell to Salvation, One Girl's Journey. I knew I was being used as the Lord's instrument in this endeavor as He reached through time, as the words etched out page after page of where my bad choices had led me. This is now the book we are now adapting into a screenplay for a feature film, and that I am here to invite you to join me on this journey. My story began at the fragile age of 9 years old as I watched death take my loved ones one by one, beginning with my father. And as the years went on, eventually all 5 of my brothers. I soon lost faith in living, being the youngest of 10, with only 4 older sisters left at home, and they left home earlier. I began to feel confused and alone, and in that confusion and loneliness, I willingly followed my so-called friends down those spiral steps to hell. Heroin and cocaine infested the black neighborhood like a plague. You see, that's when most of our youth make those unhealthy choices, in those crucial years when they're crossing over to becoming a teenager. Being honest, it was those choices I made way back then that affected my life and hurt my family in the worst way. I wrote From Hell to Salvation in hopes that it would deter some other gullible, trusting, naive to the street-wise person from being swallowed up and used by those who looked at them as susceptible victims. And now it's a time for a movie to reach even more people, a movie that we hope would reach those in need, who need this message of hope. These streetwise people play on the fact that our youth would do anything to be accepted by them, to be one of the gang, part of the in crowd, so much so they would give their soul to follow that person with their eyes wide shut down those spiral steps to hell, as long as they feel like they've been accepted and part of the gang, never knowing that these people are not true friends. But then it's too late. They're in too deep. They are now on that rocky road to hell that got them hooked on drugs, alcohol, pills, and other or whatever calamity that wastes their fate. Our film will deliver a message of hope to these folks, the folks most in need of this message. Somehow I got free, but it was a false escape. I found myself in a very abusive marriage and had 1 son from that hellish union. In search of meaning, I had jumped out of the frying pan and sunk back into the fiery furnace of hell, looking to embrace death. I knew that my life would be short if I didn't change, and fate changed my life. I began to pray, which I had not done since I was a child, and after years of wandering the desert searching, God reached down and whisked me from Satan's grasp. When defeated, I whispered, "Dear Lord, let your will in my life be done." My life would never be the same again. Others prayed for me as my life began to take on more positive changes, from meeting a godly man and marrying, to writing and publishing 5 books, and speaking engagement to share my testimony by performing my poetry as a spoken word artist on national television, and now to producing a movie to spread my testimony and His word even further. God gave me a second chance, and with that came my higher mission in life. I continue to share my story in hopes of helping others to make better choices, hopefully before they come to their crossroads. Join us, won't you? My prayer is that in sharing, my story will change lives, and I give God the glory. Donate now. Help make this happen. Thank you. The devil no longer had a hold on me. As I walk now with Mike and God by my side, I give God the glory. I thank you. Continually lift me up in prayer. In Jesus' name. out of the devil's grasp.
Hi, I'm Roderick Heck, executive producer from Hell to Salvation, One Girl's Journey. From Hell to Salvation, One Girl's Journey is a story of salvation in the midst of crisis. It is the first of many films we hope to make. We are in a war for the souls of our children. Our goal is to keep every child from facing the evils of bullying, drug abuse, and spousal abuse. Join us in making this film a reality. Click the donate button now. We ask no specific amount, just donate what God puts on your heart to donate. We thank you for your donation and your time to consider this message. We urge you to get in the fight, as it will be long and hard, but it is too important to not take on. To God be the glory.
Together, we can do this. So many futures depend on you. Please, donate now. Thank you, and God bless you.